me anyway.
Yeah.
They were probably
We
just
have
bullshitting
9
me,
minutes,
but-
by the way, so we should probably head back.
Oh yeah, I can make it over there
definitely.
about 4.
I don't know where we're going, so that's why I'm like... Yeah, I don't know the exact location. I just know I was meant to go with you guys, and Naomi was meant to show me, but I went to go and pick up Mika.
Gosh.
Oh, no, that's
Mr. Main
fine.
And Val.
And Masticata.
One of them, and Mastercard.
One
One
coming
of them
back.
is dangerous, but I'm not going to say which one.
Behind us.
Howdy.
Oh, I don't know. He's fine.
Haha. He has
As I said,
purple.
one of them is dangerous. I will not say which one of these 3 is dangerous, but yeah.
Only one?
Only one.
Oh, you sure about that?
You can decide among yourselves which one's the most dangerous.
Well, most dangerous. You didn't say that. You said only one of us was dangerous.
Yeah.
If one of you is the most dangerous, the other 2 just means the other 2 are standard, so...
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Well, I mean, in retro, I like to claim it because I single-handedly took down the entire Black Militia one day.
Val, can you confirm this?
Yeah, this is
You
true.
didn't? Oh, crap.
Yep, she did. Yep.
Wait, when?
Boat incident over by Thieves Landing.
Oh, that's a fucking boat.
I don't care. I don't
That's
know.
a boat.
I was driving it, and everybody
that does
else
not
from
count.
Black
That's
Main
a
dropped.
fucking boat.
Everyone
That does
dropped, and I
not
was driving.
count. That's a bloody boat.
Nope.
Did I,
I was
tell
driving
you
and
about
everybody
what
dropped.
happened to me when we took a person to Sisika? So we sent someone permanent, indefinitely to Sisika for a bit. He's indefinitely there, but on the way of going there, so
Don't
got,
do
you know,
that.
those really long boats with like the main, like the centerpiece, so you can go behind it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they're
The
called. Like
main what?
you can live in it. It's that
The
kind of
fucking, the big ass boat, what fucking...
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah. The
Alright,
Yeah.
I'm
big one.
fucking not doing this trotting shit.
You'll find someone got one of them, had 3 people behind it and 1 moving it, and then they just opened fire on us and we moved to Cisco definitely.
Sick?
It was fucking amazing, but it was very different.
Yeah, I believe that.
Sounds like fun.
Like that. You give up speed for cover, and that cover is pretty good. Well, that's Naomi. Hi Naomi.
Hi.
Naomi, Mika, Naomi,
One of my
you already know
friends.
each other. One of you's actually dangerous, so I'm not going to say which one.
And welcome to Twin Rocks. Yeah, and I got the cougar here. It's got flies all over it, but it's not fucking spoiled yet, so. Yeah. Dang it. I don't think that's gonna catch it on fire. I wanted to catch it on fire. Yeah. It's paused in the fire. It's paused in it. Is it gonna catch? Is it gonna catch?
No.
Yeah, we want to be as non-confrontational as possible with these people.
I'm just laying here playing with trying to burn a fucking cougar.
No, I'm just saying.
I know how to burn the cougar.
Oh shit.
Carter figured out what I think.
Yeah, you're doing what I...
Yeah, I knocked it over. Okay, hang on. Let me move the cougar again. Because I knocked over the lamp.
Well, you might want to step back.
Perfect. Right on top of the lantern. Burning cougar.
I shot it so I could see the fucking thing.
Yeah, burning cougar.
I could see them too.
Oh, I can never see him when someone else fucking shoots.
You mean like when I burned the gun store down?
Yeah.
The lantern?
Yeah, I can never fucking see him. I can hear it, right, but I can never see it. Fucking weird.
Roast cougar.
Howdy.
McFarland Ranch.
Oh, okay.
I brought it all the way from McFarland.
Okay, I was concerned for a moment that a cougar just appeared out of nowhere over here.
Oh,
No, you're good.
No, we walked from Armadillo to McFarland Ranch to hunt the cougar, and then we brought it back here for the meeting.
I just randomly
I wanted to cook
fell
it first.
from the sky, you know.
Yeah, but the cougar god dropped us a free cougar just for this very meeting.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
I was just waiting for the face palm. Can I sit on this fucking chair? I can sit on this chair. Fuck yeah. What you cook in this pot?
I don't know. It's just kind of there. I've never used it.
Oh, come on now. You live here and you don't even use your own fucking pot?
You gotta use it for something.
soup.
Shit.
Yeah, you got a giant ass fucking pot. He's even got a ladle, like, on the edge of the pot, ready to fucking go, man.
That looks fucking clean as well, so I mean, like, shit. You should use it.
Gotta show off your walk, hey! Even though that's not really a walk, but still.
Yeah, I was about to say, like...
I don't give a fuck. I just had to think of something for this. I mean, I've never heard anybody say pot hay.
Yeah, no one really ever says that. I don't know.
Why don't you clean up your yard?
I would love to, but we can't.
I mean, you say you can't, yet, I mean, we cleared off the whole fucking side right there next to Val's shop in Anniesburg and had a whole new building put in. My shop.
I can check. What I remember, I was told that they can't get rid of the shit in the yard without getting rid of the house, so...
Got you, that's why. No, that's why. Nope, that makes sense. Yeah, it's probably all the same fucking eye. Yeah, it's probably all on the same eye map, so that makes sense. Yep. I am dumb. Alright, I'll be right back.
Okay, good. Good.
Did I lock the door?
Oh, I didn't. I don't know if I just broke into my back door.
Alright, so
we burnt a cougar. We brought it from McFarland Ranch, and we burnt it.
Flint's on a brief delay, but he's on. He'll be
no
in
worries.
shortly.
That's fine. No, we were bored on the wait, so we walked from Armadillo to McFarland Ranch, and we shot
so
that
it was you
cougar
guys
and
I
brought it back.
passed.
Mhm.
Yes. That was me that you ran over, and my head popped when you ran me over, by the way. We had a whole thing planned out for y'all, too, because we were hoping you were going to stop for me and be like, oh, goodness,
I was
are
looking
you
at
okay,
the cart
Mr.
and didn't
Maine?
realize I was about to run someone over and close to
Yeah, there you go. Oh, well, I was going to lay there, and we were going to, like, y'all were going to stop and be like, oh, shit, Mr. Maine, are you okay? And then Carter was going to pop out, cock his shotgun, and point it at the sky and yell, surprise, bitch, and then I was going to laugh.
Yep.
Like, that was the fucking, the elaborate plan that we came up with, that you running me over and knocking my head into oblivion fucking killed
But
the
it
plan.
did not fucking happen that way.
Get a
Yeah,
headache,
didn't
and
happen
this is
that at
what
all.
happens.
It was still highly entertaining.
Yeah.
Does
I
anyone
mean-
need any food or drink?
I'm good for right now. I have an ass ton of gator bites and sweet tea that was donated to me from Parlor House.
I love Casper.
We helped out with the Renegades over there a handful of times, and the Parlor House gave me 175 gator bites and
Oh.
175 fucking sweet tea.
Yeah, when before his unfortunate passing, Mr. Jones was the one who gave me a start out there as a gunsmith. So went up there and paid my respects when he passed away.
Yep,
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear.
not fucking happy
I'm
about
sorry
it.
to hear that Stephen passed. He was a good gunsmith. He was a good person.
Yeah, Miss Allie and myself had a run-in with the Renegades 3 days in a row. It was kind of we had a shootout one day. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, they started shooting us at us.
Yeah,
in
we've had a
rows,
handful.
and, yeah, I've taken a couple of them down myself.
They shot me one day after asking if we were the Black Main Militia. I'm like, yep, and they shot me in the fucking shoulder for it.
So I shot him back.
I mean, they lost the fight. They did. There was 5-on-5, or was it 5 or was it 6? I think it was a 5-on-5.
I think it was 5-on-5.
I think we had 5-on-5, and we fucking like the rest of my people decimated them after they shot me.
Yeah, when the first time when they came in, they hogtied me and picked me outside of Rhodes, and I kind of told them, I was like, don't go through the water with me on the back, and they did it anyway, and so everything kind of just died there. The second day they came back because they were a little angry, and we had a shootout, and let's just say they people went down and then woke back up again during that gunfight.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. They're
Woke back up
roaches.
during the gunfight.
Yeah, with the witch doctor.
Got you.
Oh, we
I
ran
heard
her
about
out of Valentine twice in a row one day.
Yeah, we fucked Kate up that one day. God, we fucked that girl
Oh,
up.
fuck it. Oh,
I'll be right back.
Jesus.
Oh, she was in fucking Valentine. We saw her and, like, kind of gave a little bit of a pushy, get the fuck out of here kind of feel, you know?
Yeah.
She left. Well, 5 minutes go by and the dumbass comes back into fucking town. Yeah, alright. Get the fuck out of here. This time we chased her ass all the
There's
way the
a
fuck out.
whole ass fucking squad chasing her.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of us chasing her out, and we all stood on the fucking edge of the damn cliff face watching her, like, I don't know, 400 or 500 fucking yards away, and every one of us was just firing our guns in her direction.
I mean,
Every one of us. We probably fired good, 60, 70 rounds in that direction just at her.
That's it, Lucia.
Well, we know.
Like, Yeah.
Maybe a bit more, but yeah.
Yeah.
They always have a scout. They have that. I don't know the lady's name. With the she smokes a lot. Very deep
yeah,
voice.
Kate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her name is Kate.
That's
Yeah,
Kate.
that's their scout. She would come into town and make sure anyone's around, look at the numbers, and then kind of send a bird out, and that's
Yeah,
how they
she's
would
the
roll
one
in
that
shortly
ran
after.
out.
Yep. Yeah, I know. That's the only time that they would try to go into a town is whenever there wasn't that many people usually. But the only problem was half the time they didn't get an accurate number of how many were actually there, and they'd get fucked up.
And they shoot like shit, so.
There's a couple of them that were decent with their weapons, but
Yeah, most of them shoot like shit.
Only a couple.
most, yeah, there's like 3 of them that were good with a gun.
Yeah.
The rest of them
I'd
were
say
trash.
At least 3. If, like, all the others,
2
they,
of the
like,
top members that ended up catching fucking permanent Tahiti tickets, 2 of those guys had a good shot. I know fucking Edmund Willis's ass had a good shot, and he fucking single-handedly dropped fucking me, Oka, Kaiji, and fucking Sunny.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he single-handedly dropped all 4 of us in Rhodes one day.
No.
But then again, don't get me wrong, I never had a chance to fucking shoot or fire back. He literally came out of the bank, saw me, and shot me right away. I didn't, like, nothing.
Yeah, that first interaction I had with them, I was, as you know, crafting at a table, and all of a sudden they didn't say anything and kind of just took me, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that would have been an immediate government.
Yeah, I already sent the memory to him.
I mean, we almost had one of those back whenever I was first getting my fucking knife smithing going. I was working there in Saint Denis, and don't get me wrong, this is like 5 fucking months ago. But I was out there. It was in the middle of the night, and we were at that Saint Denis grindstone, which is way over there in like the slum side.
Oh, yep.
I was just sitting there working on the table side. Val's in the little alleyway behind some barrels, relaxing and kind of just watching my back, you know. Some fucker comes up behind me and points a gun at the back of my head, tells me to put my hands up. Val immediately comes out from behind the barrel, shoots a shot right over his head, freaks him out, and he runs like hell.
Yeah, he
He gets out to the fucking tracks, grabbed his horse, and came back toward us and fired a shot. I fucked his horse up, and then I shot a couple shots at him and made him run away. I didn't down him either. I tried not to down him. Once I dropped his horse, I was like, yeah, he's paying for that. I want him to remember the fact that he got fucked up for that.
But yeah, he pooped his pants and ran when I shot over his head.
Oh,
It was
he
so
fucking
funny.
I shit myself when you shot over his fucking head, Val.
Yeah, I
Because
know
that
how to
shit went
shoot.
right over my head too.
Yeah, did you die?
My pants did.
Well, did you have your shitting pants on?
No, I didn't. That's why those pants are now burnt.
Always wear your shitting pants.
I've been wearing my shitting pants a lot more lately than I have in recent
I would
times.
rather scare the shit out of somebody legitimately and have them run away than actually have to shoot somebody, okay?
Yeah.
I
more
guess I've never
effective.
heard of shitting pants. I gotta get some of those.
Hey, you gotta get your shitting pants, man.
Do they gotta be brown?
No, they
Okay.
can be any color. You just gotta make sure they're shitting pants. That way, if you do shit in them, they won't go through the pants.
Oh, okay.
That's the key to the shitting pants. You gotta make sure that whatever material that your shitting pants are made of, the shit won't seep through the pants. That way, it doesn't change the color of that material. That way, you aren't forced onto brown pants.
Oh, that makes sense. Appreciate, can I borrow your shitting pants?
I don't know, me either.
Oh, man, okay.
No, you gotta get some shitting pants.
I just got a little, my brother should be here very shortly.
Nah, that's not a problem.
And just to let you guys know, spiritually, I have to leave in like an hour for a baby shower, so
Yeah,
I don't want
that's-
to cut anything short.
That's
I was
no
there.
problem.
I'm honestly hoping this conversation doesn't take an hour, because last
course.
we checked, fucking 50 minutes from now, apparently Rubicon is doing a grand opening over there in Saint Denis.
That used to be the
Wait.
Gold Knox, right?
Yeah, we thought it was supposed to be at 8 p.m., but apparently they moved it to 3 p.m., so we got a little bit of a rush to get over to that, maybe, if we can. So yeah, no, there's definitely no hard feelings
I
of a
got
rush
no
to
time
an
for
hour
No, I
conversation.
want to have I just want to have a nice conversation and see where we're all at and try to, keep the peace because shit's been crazy lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say we got a war on our doorstep. We're just like,
Yeah.
oh shit, hello.
Yeah.
At least we're not in it.
Yeah, we're not trying to start any war, right? And we tried to make peace multiple times, and the things that are happening here in New Austin, we're kind of just put on the back burner. We're not paying any attention to that. Our main focus is trying to solve the problem out east first, and then we can kind of deal with things back here.
Man.
Yeah,
no,
see,
we're-
the big thing with me is I hear gossip, and I call that hearsay, and I like to talk to people and find out what's really going on. I don't like that shit.
Of course.
Because, something happens and then somebody tells a story about it and gets some details wrong, and then somebody else tells a story about it and gets details wrong, and somebody else tells a story about it. It just continues on and on until it's so fucked up it isn't even funny.
Oh yeah, there's a little experiment you can even do to prove that as a thing. Like, You get 10 people, and get them all to line up next to each other, and you whisper something into the first person's ear, and you have them repeat that to each individual person going down the line, telling them to repeat it to the next person, you know? Get all the way to the end of the line, and then have that person at the end of the line repeat back what was said to them and send it back to the original person. And I guarantee you, I know, I'm screaming. Should I not be screaming?
Screaming's fine. Sorry, I'm late, guys. Hang up.
Oh, you're good. But no, it's you get that whisper back to the very original person that gave the whisper, and it's probably going to be absolutely nowhere near what you originally whispered into that person's ear. When it comes back to you, it's going to be completely the opposite. It's actually a fucking little experiment thing. I've seen it done multiple times, and it's freaking insane how fucking inaccurate people are.
Yeah.
Can somebody catch me up to date a little bit?
We're talking about.
Or just randomly talking shit
Yeah, we're
waiting
just
on
talking.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, that was literally
Yeah,
just
everything's
random banter until you got
Okay.
here.
I was gonna say who's been saying what on that.
Oh no.
This is random. I am a professional heckler, and if I don't have something to heckle, I just randomly rant about whatever I can think of.
Well, no, we were just
That's
talking
fine.
about the fact with all the rumors going around that, you know, when somebody says something to somebody or sees something happen and they tell somebody else and then somebody else tells somebody else and somebody else tells somebody else and it just gets more fucked up as it goes along. People
Yeah.
embellish. It's just, I don't like that shit.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you making the trip all the way here to
Yes.
speak to us. And
I mean, we were here the other night, but everybody was apparently terrified that we were here the other night, and it was like, we were just rubbernecking.
We were just trying to find out what was actually going on because we haven't been party to any of the events that have gone on. We just know what we've heard, and I don't like I said, I don't like hearsay.
Yeah, we've definitely heard a lot of what's been said on the east side of the county, and we haven't really heard a vast majority of what's come out of the actuality of Armadillo outside of what Miss Naomi told us earlier.
Well, me and that's fine. Me and my family, we're ones to stay within the law. None of us have ever got into trouble. None of us have ever got any type of record. None of us have ever got arrested. Nothing like that at all.
Likewise.
It's the same
Well,
way
that's
with
good
us.
to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the way we like it, you know. And we try and keep the peace. I always try and not deneutralize,
de-escalate.
De-escalate.
Yeah, we're the same way.
Mhm.
Close. And
All
some
three of
people-
us standing here used to be marshals at one point in time, so de-escalation is kind of like in our blood when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly the way that I see myself, and I see a lot of us. I see Sid as well, and some people, no matter how hard you try, you just can't reason with them. And we've tried to reason with certain people, and we've annoyed certain people. But I mean, you've got Lance and Tumbleweed, who is really in the few people who are just really sort of pushing for action and pushing for something to happen, you know. And that's something that we don't want, but. I mean, you can only try so hard and de-escalate so much until they can really push you too much, you know?
Yeah, you're not wrong
I mean,
there.
We've got real enemies to worry about. People like the Renegades and the Thompsons and people like that. They're all coming after all of us.
Bushwhackers and shit.
Okay, so
Fighting
at
each other, you know, it's just not worth it.
Can I ask
No.
a question? Can I ask a question here, Flint? So I guess I want to have an open dialogue with you. I know you guys probably have questions, and I think it's best, you know, you kind of ask us those questions, and then we kind of tell you, you know, our side of the story, and then kind of fill you in on what our intentions were, and I think that'll clear up a lot of the
Yeah,
hearsay that we
that's
were
what
talking
I'm
about.
hopeful about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, Val. This is I'm quite sad that this is the way that I'm seeing you again. You probably don't remember me. We first met in Valentine about 2 months ago when I was fairly new to the county, and we got on. But I soon moved over here. You're over there, different stars, and it makes it hard to bump into people.
Oh
you know?
yeah, that's totally understandable. I mean, my big question is, I have a female gunsmith, and she's a little skittish, and she was in the shop, and I don't know if it was y'all, but there was other gunsmiths that came up. As far as I know, it was from Armadillo. It had something to do with advertising for the competition. I don't know what happened with that.
I remember
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I remember that. We're both there.
And I'm thinking there's some kind of wires crossed because she got the impression that that you all were angry and were gonna try to come in the door at her.
Wait, what? No.
Oh no,
She-
no, no.
I'm
No,
just
we,
curious
hold
to
on,
what all
hold on,
happened
Flint.
with that because I wasn't there, and you
uh,
know I just want to clear it up. She hasn't been back really since, and she was
So-
terrified.
So Flint and myself were running that competition,
Mhm.
and you know the doors were locked, and so we went out back. We kind of like to compare gun stores and things like that. We like to look at them and talk about things that we like and
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't. So I went to show them that you guys have a porch out back, and thought maybe just the back door was open, not the front door, And so I kind of like ran into it and kind of pushed into it, and then someone said I shouldn't do that, and I wasn't trying to like sneak into a gun store or anything like that. And I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
I think we eventually. I mean, the optics looked like we were trying to, but I knew there was a porch back there, so I just thought the door was open. Maybe.
I'll be honest with you. I've never walked into a gunsmith in county where the doors were locked, and I really apologise for that. So I just kind of walked through, and sometimes when you try and walk into the door, it's kind of like you're bashing it a little bit. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of her, but she seemed really nice. I'm a bit sad if
Amaris.
we sort of.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
Because
Yep.
she had the pink and the copper and the gold. She showed us her
Yep.
guns, remember?
That's
And
the
we
one.
really liked that.
Her and her
And-
husband, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just wanted to sort of like have a look around, and she
The
opened the doors.
reason that I'm a little focused on the question too, the reason that I kind of was alerted to even that situation was I had gotten a bird when you guys had arrived up there that somebody had either overheard or had seen or
see,
said
we're back
something
on the
about y'all
hearsay
talking
situation,
about
which is
the
what I wanted to
idea
talk about.
of sleeping through the door. And I mean, both of you literally just said you've never went inside of a locked door, so it's like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's like the biggest thought, though, was I got a bird that said that that's what y'all were doing or trying to do, that you were angry that the door was locked and that you were going to sleep under the door anyway, kind of feel. And I'm like, okay, well, we
No,
woke
no,
up immediately and y'all were gone. So
As gunsmiths, why would we need to sleep inside to get anything? You know what I mean? It's
Oh yeah. Well, that's
there's
why I
nothing for us
wanted to
to
talk
do.
to y'all.
Yeah, and it was a case of I mean, I was round. I went to go through the front door and it was locked, and I was saying, oh, it's quite confusing. I'm surprised that it's locked. Said check to see if the back door was open, see if anyone was around, see if anyone was in, and probably within, it felt like a minute. I mean, I'm going from memory here, but within a minute, is it Amaris? How do I say it?
Yes, it's a
So-
Mars.
Yeah, Amaris came in.
does that show up? That does show up. Okay, I'll show you this in just a second.
Yeah, sure. So she came and opened the front door, and we had a little talk with her, explain about the competition, and admired the gun store because well,
They have an
it looks
alligator.
really nice, you know. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well, here's the thing. You know how Ansburg probably can be a rough place, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
okay,
you know
that's
how
what this
when
used to be
we're
like.
when we're working on
everybody gather around me
when
real
we're
quick so you
hold
can
on a
see my
minute.
me.
Okay. Yep.
This was the letter that I had gotten in that bird. This was word for word what I had gotten, which is why I was alarmed.
Okay.
But the thing is you know how when we're making guns or parts, or if we're customizing, we have no way to defend ourselves.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So
I mean,
Yeah,
we
that's
tend to
the
lock
word that I
ourselves
got.
inside when we're working, especially if it's like myself is alone or Amaris or just a couple of us, especially because we've been getting attacked by the renegades very heavily for like the
I
last
mean, it's-
month.
yeah,
Just
I
like
mean,
everybody else.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean, I wish we could lock our doors. Our doors weren't installed with locks on them,
I
so
wish everybody had
Because your
locking doors.
building,
We
your
just have-
building doesn't actually exist in this world. It was made there for y'all.
We
That's
only
why
have-
my door doesn't lock either, because my door is custom made like that.
yeah, that's why we kind of weren't expecting it. But we'd
Yeah,
never
that's
do that. I
fine.
mean,
I think somebody misunderstood what was going on,
Yeah.
but that's what we knew, and we're like, well, what's going on, you know?
yeah, and first
yeah.
impressions mean everything, you know.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Well,
really
and
fast.
I try to have good relations with all the gunsmiths in county. I think it's important for us as businesses to have good relations with each other.
Certainly.
100%.
Yeah, we couldn't agree more, and that's what we're trying to do. But certain people are trying to make that a little bit harder for us right now. And
Yeah,
sorry,
we've been hearing little bits and pieces of Lance Chandler being one of the top names of possible issues from the tumbleweed side.
I mean, I'll give you a. I mean, you can. I can't say any facts here. I can say what I've heard, which is almost certainly true, and then the rest of that you've kind of got to work out for yourself, which I'm trying to work out for myself. But
Same.
he is.
We're just trying to
the
make
rumors.
heads or tails of things.
Well, the
rumor
part
mill's
that I know
terrible.
about. Well, the rumor that's almost certainly true is that he's in the process of, or already has, given the gunsmith over to one of his employees, Harlan Pecker, and Lance giving up that gun store. I cannot see many reasons as to why somebody would give up their gun store, especially him, apart from if he thought he might lose it anyway for something that he might do, you know?
Yeah,
So-
that would be
Well,
like
see,
me trying. Yeah, I wouldn't give up my gun store.
No.
I've worked too hard.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I unless there's, I've been racking my brain and I can't. I try and think from everybody's shoes, every situation, every side, and I can't think of anything else. If anyone else can,
Now,
feel free
see,
to shout in.
I would say I'll throw a thought at it for you at the very least.
Mhm.
Being arrested or having a criminal record would not necessarily or even remotely cause him to lose his gun store. Like life in prison or death could be like a thought behind it, which if you're thinking that far, then you're assuming that he's planning murder at that point, in sense anyway. I mean, if you're thinking that far, then yeah, you could go that far with it to think that would be why he does it. But if not, it might also be. It might also just be he's thinking of time to move on to something else too, because he is one of the older gun stores in the county.
He has the second oldest gun store in the
Yeah,
county.
he's the second oldest.
Jump in with that one, Val. Love that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it had anything. So I had this is just me personally, right? Before I took a nap last night, I was having some thoughts. I was pretty heated with myself and the things that were happening, right? And I don't know if word got back to him, but I had thoughts of challenging him to a duel last night.
And that might be why he's thinking of giving the gun store, because he's going to accept it.
No, he's from the little birds that I've heard, and because we've got a lot of friends still in. It's not Tumbleweed that don't like us. It's just Lance and a group of however many he's kind of getting on his side throughout the county. But we've still got a lot of friends over there, and they hear a lot of things because he speaks loud, you know.
Similar to me.
Yeah. So from what I've heard, his first response was absolutely not, that he would not do that, you know.
Wow.
So I mean, if it came to the moment, who knows what he'd say in the moment if someone was to say it to his face.
Yeah.
But from when he was asked by somebody else, from what I've heard, his answer was no. But this is all the hearsay like we were talking about.
Yeah,
so
I
you
know.
never know.
I know. It's been everywhere.
It's still fun to speculate over
Yeah.
at the very least. Try to figure out.
It
and
is.
Well, I also
Get
don't want to be
closer
one
to the
adding to the rumor
answer.
mill either.
That's the thing. I'm
Yeah.
not here to add to the rumor mill and make things worse and
No,
cause
I've got
problems.
I'm still waiting for Lance to answer my telegram anyway. I've known Lance for a long ass time, and
I remember when Lance was coming up with
It's like,
Jeb in Blackwater.
yeah.
That must have been a while ago then.
Oh yeah. I mean, the three of us here have been here since day one of the county, so. If
Wow,
that says
okay.
anything. My blacksmith shop is the oldest blacksmith shop in the county, and Val's gun store is the oldest gun store in the county.
Oh,
Single owned,
wow.
single
I'm the
owners.
oldest gunsmith. In
We've
the
had
county, too.
Annisburg.
Oh, wow.
So
We've had
seeing
I think
to it
what,
that we're
2
all,
weeks?
doing. Yeah, we were in it. Let's see. I opened my shop on the 26th of May.
Yeah, there you go.
Damn. Okay.
But
So,
you know,
and
I
I was
want to
open
see
within a week of her.
unity between us, and we're all doing good business. I mean, we all have to charge the same prices. There's no reason for us to fight. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And,
Well, here's a question then. Do you have any idea why or what started the issue with Lance and y'all?
yeah, lots
Okay.
of small things. He's
Building
kind
up
of,
over time.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I can say as fact is that he's the kind of guy who, if somebody goes up to him and says a situation, he'll react on that one side of it, If
Yep.
somebody comes up to me and says, "This is what's going on," then I'll speak to other people. I'll speak to the other person. I'll get every side.
Yeah.
And
Fuck, you just
We have a
reminded me
lot
of
in
me. That's
common.
my answer to that.
No, that's why
I
we
mean,
were
that's how I
we were in
am.
Armadillo the other night. There is we wanted to try to find out what the hell was going on.
I'm told we can leave soon. Does that make you happy now?
Because I even
I
fucking.
can come stare backwards up for the
Really, not that scary.
Because I even jumped at Sanders a tiny bit whenever the pop up on our pin board happened that we were siding with Van Horn. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I just want to blindly side with Van Horn.
I want to know what's going on before
but-
I decide to do anything. I mean, no.
Well,
So-
moving on to the next pressing question of my mind, at least from only hearing one side, my question is gonna probably sound attackive because of the tone of voice that I use. I don't know how to change my tone.
That's okay.
Yeah, just okay. So, hearing from the folk of Van Horn and whatnots, and me personally, up until this point, never actually meeting either the two of you. Obviously, a mixture of the star times being a thing as well. But from my understanding, is you guys went to the live auction for the two properties there in fucking Van Horn.
Yep.
And there was bidding war going on back and forth to the point where the properties went up to a total of 60 grand before the final was made.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
And it
for the one
was
that went.
kind of a battle between you guys and the folks of that are like business saloon related people in Van Horn.
Yeah.
And y'all ended up winning the battle of money relation.
Yeah, I mean that's
So the real
long-
question is, why were y'all buying shit in Van Horn?
There's it's a fairly long story behind that. So I mean,
I'm comfortable.
okay, so we're going,
Yeah.
so,
I'm ready.
so
we
me
just
and my
want to get to the
fiance.
bottom. It's our back door.
Absolutely, I get that. So I'll be completely honest with you, and if you have any questions, just feel free to jump in as I'm going. So if we go back to maybe a little bit over a month ago, me and my now fiance Evie, we like to spend a lot of our time sort of out of New Austin, riding around, exploring different things, and
Tell them about originally Dream House. Which house
That's-
was up there?
yeah, so it's still there. So one of the things that we like to do is have a little look around and have a little look at houses and see which ones that we quite like, and we've kind of created a little list of ones that we could see ourselves living in, and places we like the area of, and little things like this. And we're quite harsh with ourselves on that, and probably after seeing 100 houses over the space of about a month, we had a list of 3 houses across camp. We've probably not seen all of them, and it's hard to keep up with what ones we have and haven't seen.
I don't
But-
feel bad. I've seen every single house in the county, and there's only 2 that's on my list of possibilities.
There you go. So it's the
I'm
list
just
is
as picky.
that's what I mean. Like, you have to take every consideration when you're doing these kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And every single week, me and Evie get excited about the auctions, waiting to see if one of the 3 come up, and they didn't come up. And throughout that time, a lot of the time that me and Evie spent out, we would go to Van Horn. We almost every time we wouldn't see anybody. That's based on the kind of times that I'm around.
Yeah, that's why I'm like surprised too, because I heard y'all bought it. I'm like, who are these people? I don't know. We're from we are in Van Horn all the time. We're from Anniesburg. Who are these people that bought this property?
Yeah,
Like,
this
we
is
didn't
the
know
thing.
who it was either, and that's why we were like slightly confused at the beginning, and kind of ready to jump the gun. We
Yeah.
definitely held back because we were like, we don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, we
but
don't know what the fuck's going on. We're
We
not
were
gonna jump
leaning
in and then
toward
have,
it, and then we're like, wait, something's
I mean,
going on.
everybody
Exactly.
gets going and everybody starts getting heated and trying to get everybody else involved with being heated. No, I'd rather keep a cool head and find out what the fuck's up.
That,
This is
knowing
exactly-
my fucking track record of every fucking gunfight that ever happens, 9.9 times out of 10, I'm usually the first one shot. So I really don't like to participate in gunfights because I never get to participate in the gunfight. I just get shot.
Hey,
Yeah,
remind
we
me
do
to
that.
remind me to tell you about
Shooting should always be the
shin pains.
last resort.
Ugh.
We got to get shit in pants too, by the way.
Yes.
Remind me to tell you
I
about shit in
mean,
pants.
Okay.
I can let y'all know where that fucking thought came from for me.
Of course.
Get the mind of Negan. Look up
Okay.
look up your mind of Negan, and you'll
Yep.
get the whole aspect of it there. You got to be wearing your shitting pants. There's a whole little scene you can look at in your mind there too. But just look up Negan shitting pants, and you'll get a little should be about, I don't know, 3 minutes of memory that'll get you a good little laughter.
Okay.
I've made a little note of that so I can have a little look at that.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys what you know of the dead walking.
I know.
That's
I know.
where that's the I think 4th season.
Yeah, I would have said.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that the 4th chapter or the 4th book?
I don't even know. Honestly, I have no idea.
I kind
I
of
really can't remember.
I kind
I
of
just
got
know
as
he was
far
hilarious.
as I kind of got as far as the main guy kind of disappeared, and then I kind of
I'm like
left it there.
way behind that. I never got close to that. I stopped at like 7. But yeah, so fucking.
Yeah.
But no,
All right, so
I know I can
your
understand.
aspect of thought. Then, like, I know that fucking Armadillo got locked the fuck down the other night, and that shit was freaking insane. I mean, even we got kicked out of town. I mean, I can understand why to an extent, especially hearing now that everybody thought we were there to participate in a gunfight. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sad that we got kicked out of town.
No, Maine
I-
specifically said if the shooting started to run to the cart and only defend yourself. That's exactly what Maine
Yeah,
said
no
to
joke,
us.
yeah. As we were heading this way, we got the word from the Van Horn people they were going to come out this way to have a talk with y'all or whatever, with like Miss Rosie and them. So as we were coming over here, there were 5 of us on the cart. I literally said to everybody, I'm like, all right, kind of standing order for the time being. There are 5 of us. We are not with Van Horn. We're not with Armadillo. We're not with the cops. We're not with anybody. We're with the 5 of us. If shooting starts happening, run to the wagon. Do not shoot. If shooting comes at us, return fire and run to the wagon. Don't go attacking and shit. Don't go run up in the middle of the gunfight. Let's get the fuck out of there because we're not in the middle of this shit. We just want to watch.
I was in
Yeah.
protective custody at that point. I had no chance to even stand out in the street. They
Oh yeah, we know.
Well, there was definitely a mob mentality that was coming together with that. I don't blame
from
it.
even walking up the stairs. Yeah, there were like 5 of them on your porch.
Well, so eventually, I kind of want to kind of give a game plan. So the way the auctions work, right? And I know this kind of jumps ahead a little bit in your story, Flint.
Yeah, I kind of need to go back a little bit before we go to the auctions.
Okay.
Because if we're just looking at the auctions, it doesn't kind of explain why we're even at the auctions a little bit. Because
I mean, it already did. I mean, I kind of
Yeah.
get the picture of it.
So-
You and your is it
It's
your
like a home
wife
away
or
from home
girl?
idea, it sounds like.
Fiance,
Yeah.
fiance. So you and your fiance went over that way. You liked the place. You didn't get the one you wanted, but you liked the area, so you decided to go for it. You go over there on a regular basis, and you didn't see folk over there because you're on a different star line. So you went to the auction, which is outside of your star line, and a shit fuck ton of people you'd never seen happened to be there, and you're like confused, but yeah, you could beat them in money, so you did.
Well, so
Yeah.
and this is the thought. So
Is that about
originally-
right?
But yeah, but so wait, hold on a second, Flint. So the house that I ended up purchasing, right, was originally the house that they wanted, and then they kind of looked at the other house and decided. But the way the auction was set up, it was like, okay, this is Plan B, right? So I bid on that one. If they missed out on that one, we would have the other one, right? So we could still be in Van Horn. Obviously, the one they got, it ended up working. That we ended up getting both. When everything happened that night, when all of the law was here, I talked to Miss Rosie and Mr. Cass. And as a lawyer, I don't know if you guys are familiar with selling houses and things like that, but
I was a sitting magistrate
Okay.
judge in the county for 2.5 months.
so I can only sell my property for 80% of the value.
I thought it was 75% of market value.
On the form that I have, it says
They
80%.
raised it to 80? Wow,
80%.
okay. They must have
Under-
changed
It's a
that
little
with
bit
the...
better with the amount
Yeah,
of
they must
prices
have
that they're
changed it.
going for and what they're worth.
And then 20% goes for a transfer fee.
Mm-hmm.
So I told them, Flint and Evie want to settle there. I'll come visit them. They want to be a part of the community. I offered to sell them that price at the lowest price I could, $30,400, knowing I'm taking a loss on it, so that those people of Van Horn had a property.
Pretty sure you're wrong on that, by the way.
What? My
Because
math?
you paid 60, but it's worth
No. I'm talking about the other
4,500, right?
the other property.
Yeah, I think
3,000 one?
I think the percentage is off of the starting price potentially.
Yeah, it's off
Is that
of
what
the
you're saying?
starting
Yeah,
price.
it's off of the
it's
starting
off of
price.
The starting. It's not
And that's
off of
where
what
you get
paid.
screwed.
Yeah, you guys
okay.
are. Yeah, that's why I had mentioned it to somebody else before. I'm like, these guys, even if they do sell this now, they are fucked because they are fucked of $57,000.
Yeah,
I
this is it because
was-
I've tried to
My
find a quick
about
fix.
that.
I was
My
advised
impression,
that
what I was told, is it was a percentage of the market value of the property, and the market value is not what goes in a live auction. That's what the market of the value is, which is the starting price, which would either be the 3,000 property or the 4,500 property. So you'd get 80% of 3,000 or 80% of 4,500, no matter if you paid $1 or 60,000 for the property. You can only sell it for 80% of the market value, which is its original starting price of 3,000 or
Yeah, that's what they tax
4,500.
us off of too, so they wouldn't
I
tax
don't know if
you
that's
off
right,
of the what you
that's what it
paid.
used to be.
See,
That's
Is
what
that
it
is
used
that
to
the
be.
minimum? that
See,
you
I've
can
been
sell it
staying
for,
out
or
of
is
those
that
auctions.
That
Yeah,
was
I
the
don't know if-
maximum you could sell it for,
That's
was
the maximum.
80% of the market. You could go lower if you wanted to, but you couldn't go any higher than 80% of the market value. Like
I'll
me, if I were
double-check
to
that.
sell mine and my property right now, I actually paid 8,000, maybe 9,000 for my property, but they re-evaluated my property about 2.5, 3 months in, and they re-evaluated me at 12,000. And then they moved it up again to like 18,000. So right now, if I were to sell my property, I could effectively almost double my money because my property value has raised on market value compared to what I paid for it back whenever I got it fucking 5.5, 6 months
Yeah,
ago.
we had to put in business plans and everything else to get ours.
But it
It's
goes off
changed
of that.
so many
even
times
even
that
if
I'm
I
not
were to go
100%
and
sure what it is anymore.
like,
Yeah, this is
for
where it puts
example, I
us in
know
a-
Redmond's Legacy in Rhodes. Miss Jessie Redmond, the one that originally bought the
Bad
place,
restroom.
she paid $94,000 for the property at a live auction.
Mhm.
Property, I believe the rating that they gave her was like 22,000.
Yeah, it was just a little bit more
So
than mine's worth.
effectively, let's see, she could have sold that property for 20 grand, taking a $74,000 decrease on what she paid.
See, this is where it puts us in a sticky situation. You see,
Exactly.
Almost definitely.
Because I was
mean,
I was
You have
advised
fucked
otherwise.
yourself, unfortunately, of not knowing it.
I mean, all of us in situations, if we could take a step back, almost invent a little something that we could go back in time with and redo our steps. There are certainly worse things that I could have done and worse ways that I could have handled it, but there are better ways that I could have handled it. And my concern of making it known that I was going to be bidding for it might cause the property price to go up even more, and for people to sort of outsource money from other locations and things like that. So
I mean,
I wasn't sure if it was a smart idea, but maybe
if
it probably would have.
Namas and them had have known, or whoever was bidding there had have known that y'all were going to bid against them, they probably would have outsourced to us, because I had already offered to help them out with it, and they never reached out to me whenever y'all fucking beat them out. I didn't go to the auction
Sounds
because I
like
didn't give a shit
a
about the property.
misfortune in general.
So I did talk to Namas Wednesday night. He told me that people were going to be bidding on this property, that the one that Flint bought, and I told him I was interested in that property, and he really didn't say anything to me. But it's still friendly. We were cleaning up the locals, throwing them in the pond over there, just because there was you know how those locals get.
Oh yeah, they're bad there.
Yeah.
About as bad as Steve's Landing.
You know,
I mean, it was a good conversation. I mean, I didn't tell him in detail, what we were gonna do, and I mean, I kind of had a hard cap, and I kind of went over it a little bit, but I didn't, I used my whole life savings to get that house.
Yeah,
So-
I figured as that. That's a nice chunk.
I've just
oddly
had
60
enough,
grand is a nice chunk.
oddly enough, the way I heard it is that they'd never seen you before in their lives.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm saying-
some of them had, which is just.
See, that's
either
why
their
I like to
memory
get
or-
things from the horse's mouth.
We've stepped into the saloon. We bought things from the saloon. We know
Yeah,
about
from
not
Hannah
going
and
back by the
Rosie,
table.
the main
and,
ones that we met.
they have their special platter with the chicken and the croissants and things like that. We've stopped in.
And you know what's bad about this conversation too? The more I look at you guys and the more I listen to you guys, I vaguely feel like I have seen you before in fucking Van Horn at the saloon when we passed through.
Yeah,
And,
That's
same.
probably a good chance.
And I know I've met you before in Valentine.
And I met you
Because
I just
guys-
couldn't put a name to a
Pretty
face.
sure you in the red. I'm pretty sure I saw you and was immediately ready to almost pull a gun until I saw the red part of your
Oh,
jacket.
Because of the
Because
renegades.
if you were wearing a tan version of that very jacket, you would have had a gun pulled on you because I pulled a gun on another random person up in Anniesburg one day because one of the renegades wears that very jacket and he shot my wife in the face.
Just
and
a heads up, we both wear that jacket as well.
Well, they're
Oh
different
yeah,
colors.
no, no,
They're
no.
different
It's
colors. If
we've
you wear
been
the
dealing with
tan
attacks
one-
from those assholes.
And no matter what, now anyway, that very individual that wore that coat is permanently on Tahiti trip. So
Okay, that's fine.
that guy is gone. So my fucking trigger happiness toward that coat has went
He
away.
gets super
But-
protective
Okay, good,
over me.
It's the thought though that I'm having is if he wears that coat all the time, I'm pretty sure that I've seen you.
Mhm.
If you wear that bandolier all the time too, yes, I definitely believe that I've seen you because I commented to either Oka or Kaiji about it. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, that motherfucker is.
I
that
know
one of the
I've
fucking...
seen you guys around
No,
the
It's not a
area.
renegade.
And
That's
I
red.
know I have,
And
and
we
that's
live in County too, because I think we talked to you guys when I first started out. I was a minor with Wheezy Willie, and we talked to you guys
Mhm.
before.
yeah.
And
You
so
were
we've been
were
in
you with
yeah.
him when he came up and got his gun from the
Yeah.
raffle?
Yeah, yep. I was at
Yep.
the fights, and yep. And
Yep.
so I mean, I've been
There
in.
we
Yep,
go.
and the story we're hearing is that
See?
you never were at Annisburg or Van Horn.
We-
That's not
we-
true, obviously.
Yeah, we
The bit
go
that
up
made me
there.
sad is when
See, that's why I don't like hearsay.
I still mine up there sometimes when my blacksmith needs some things, and if you guys are around, I don't mine as often as I used to.
Yeah, well, if you're up there
Yeah.
mining, we're gonna keep an eye on you like we do
Yeah, we'll
everybody
keep
else.
an eye
Make
on
sure
you,
you're
of
safe.
The bit that really wound me up during the auctions and really upset me a little bit, because I've worked for Lance for a long time, I've got a lot of respect, I learned a lot from him, was that throughout a lot of that time I was dealing with the auctioneer and I couldn't really speak because I was
In the
focused on
newspaper.
speaking to him, let's say. Yeah. And during that time I heard Lance going up to, I mean, I don't even know why he was there, he wasn't bidding on anything, and he was going up to every single person that he saw in Van Horn and just riling them up, adding fuel to the flame, and I just had to sit there and kind of take it and listen and
Well,
realize
I mean,
how angry people were getting.
You inadvertently just answered one of the other questions I had, but at the same time, as a theory thought here for you, then the native group that is now in Van Horn, was that native group previously in Tumbleweed with fucking Lance and all them over there?
I've seen a few of them when I worked at the saloon.
Yeah, I remember there was like a little bear
feathers,
and there was
two
two
feathers.
feathers.
Yeah.
I can't remember any other names though. They were the
Okay.
two that I tend to
Two
see the
feathers
most.
used to be down there.
I mean, just the fact that you got those
Yeah,
two
I know
names
two
called the
feathers.
fuck out right out the gate, that's like, hello.
Yeah, they were in Tumbleweed a lot.
that makes me start leaning toward one of Val's original other theories that she had thrown out earlier as we were all riding around chatting about it, where she had said that the connection of Van Horn having issue or problem with y'all might be the immediate just locked connection between lands.
Hmm.
It may not be Van Horn that's going or being away. It might be brewing stemmed from the original start of everything that brewed from Lance and y'all's original fucking beef.
Yeah. And so kind of what happened here after the fact, right? So after that that message on the board about the lines are being drawn and things like that, Flint, because of his stars, was actually took a nap, and we were out in Limpany actually doing we were shooting wax bullets, helping the sheriffs and the doctors get some training, and kind of doing a live training exercise, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, good.
And we kind of just
Fuck this
ignored it.
war,
So
this
when
is
that
not
whole thing
even
with
worth it.
Armadillo
These
kind of
people are
happened
like
and
us.
the law showed up,
These
we
people-
weren't even around until we came back in Armadillo.
Yeah, these people are like us.
But what started that whole thing was Mr. Pecker came into town, still kind of saying some things, and I had some choice words for him, and I told him to leave Armadillo and go back to Tumbleweed, and so that, the issue between, I still respect Harlan, but that issue is between me and him, and I think it got overblown, and and turned into lines got to be drawn. I've reached out to him and tried to extend an olive branch, and it's in his court now. So like I said, the tumbleweed thing is between me and him, and we're not choosing sides, right? I'm not going to go to war with them.
Not at all. That's the last thing that we want.
The last thing we need is war.
And do any of you know what happened yesterday between my family and Van Horn?
No, I think I've heard rumors, but I'd rather hear it from y'all.
Okay, so we rode up to Van Horn when we had a feeling that they.
Wait, you're talking last night?
Yeah, so sort of.
Yeah,
this
I heard
time,
about that.
Yeah, so this time yesterday we rode up. We had a good feeling that this is the kind of time that a lot of them wouldn't be awake, and they weren't.
How many of y'all went?
I was not
initially. I don't know how many of us there were initially. There might. I mean, we weren't looking
6.
for any conflict or something like that.
Yeah, you only roll with a large group if you're not expecting.
You rolled 6.
It was 6.
Yeah,
that's even worse than what I heard now. Then
I think it might have. No, in the initial one, Sid, I think that there was 8 of us because I'm counting in my head because it was there and like, the other people were there.
Fucking Christ.
But initially,
yeah, it's about as bad as what I heard. Then I assume then.
But this is the first
what
time
I
we rode
heard
in,
is
we rode in
it was
twice.
a massacre, and they fucking destroyed y'all with very little reason.
This is
and I was like,
yeah, I want to hear that.
8 people.
This is chapter 2.
God damn.
Yeah, so that's getting that confused a little bit. They didn't fuck up because that's the initial part. So we rode in with 8 people. Didn't expect anyone to be around. There wasn't anyone around. So
that's when we posted that message.
Yeah, so I wrote up a letter, and you can read back to that letter on the Van Horn message board to get an idea of timing.
Probably already have.
Okay, and I sort of said get in contact. We're not looking to make enemies. We're looking to make friends. That phrase is really important. You'll find out in a second. And I also said, and remember, Van Horn is the home of second chances.
Place of second chances. I remember. I read that one. Yes, I remember that one.
So we waited and we waited and we waited for hours, and then eventually we had I got a letter come through to say that basically it was saying that they'd like to meet us. They're not, and they actually used my wording back on me, saying they're not looking to make enemies, they're looking to make friends as well. So this time we rode in with 6, and it was just 6 people directly from my family, from the Steele family.
Yeah.
We took our long arms off our backs and we went in with good intentions, and we knew that there was a chance that we knew that a lot of them were going to be really angry about how things went down, but we were kind of willing to meet them, not in the middle, really kind of meet them as to where they want to go with it without us losing a lot of money. So we wanted to tread lightly. We had real kind words. We spoke to them for maybe an hour, maybe more. Time flies when you're in these kind of situations, you know.
Oh yes.
And we kind of got to different arrangements, and saying I even offered, what about if we were to give you the keys? Because one thing they really wanted is the doors to be open to the people of Van Horn. And I said, well, what about if you give you keys to that, and we can work through that? And they were saying, well, if you want to give us keys, then we could look at paying your taxes. And I said, no, we're not here to make money off of you. Not looking for a steady cash flow or anything like that. We just want to make friends. And they were really friendly about it, and they were really nice about it, and it really felt like we were getting somewhere with them. And then it was in my stars it was the 4 a.m. Train. So I went to sleep at that stage. Just after the train, I opened all the doors for both of them, said goodnight to them, and at that stage I went to sleep. What happened afterwards is that they then called the remaining 5 family members into the saloon to sort of finalize talks, and within the space of what I'm told to be about 3 minutes, they just shot all of them down. And the way that they had spoken to us and really made themselves look as if they were really trying to come to an agreement and really try and find a solution.
They baited you in.
Yeah, they baited us in. At one stage they were saying what an ideal situation is that we want you to sell us both properties for the starting prices, 6,000, probably a total of 10,000.
Yeah.
You know? And I said realistically, that's
Not
not something that we can do. You know.
Yeah.
So from there, we obviously I heard about this when I woke back up again. There's a little sort of saying we've got at the moment that when Flint goes to sleep, things tend to happen. Like went to sleep and 30, 40 lawmen go straight to Armadillo, you know. And then
Yeah. Sorry, I had to run around like a dumbass so I don't get fucking off kicked.
Yeah.
That's fine. And
I also
I'm gonna
kicked
do that
my
as well real
chair.
quick.
Sad face. I kicked my fucking chair. Can I sit on this box?
Maybe. And yeah, so from there we really don't know where to go. They've put us in a situation where there is now, I mean, we've heard nothing but good things about y'all from other people, but during those negotiations, Van Horn were making it very clear that you guys were one. You were not two separate things. You were kind of one. And
Van Horn, the town, and Annisburg, the town, in the eyes of the law and the government at this point, are about the same town. Yeah, we're one
Yeah, the
city
gunsmith and the
overall
blacksmith are in Annsburg, and everything else is in
because
Van
of
Horn.
that. Yeah, well, because we have a mine, we've got the mining company. The bathhouse technically is there. It's not owned, and we don't know what the fuck's going on with that yet, but it's there.
But I in no way
The gun store
condone
and
baiting
then my
people in and
blacksmith.
shooting them down. I'm not okay
Yeah,
with
no.
that.
yeah,
We got
so from
the
what my family
train
said, the last
station thing. We've got a clothing store, and that's it for Annisburg. And then the northern edge of Van Horn has the actual stable, and then the saloon, the general store, the bank, all of that shit is in Van Horn, and they won't give us some of that in Annisburg, and they won't give some of the stuff to Van Horn that we have. Like, they won't put a blacksmith in Van Horn because I'm right fucking there practically. So,
Okay.
I mean, if they'd
Yeah.
let us be, you
Yeah.
know, if they give us the ability to have separate towns, I mean, it would be
But
different.
the
I'm
community
not
of
getting in the middle
people-
of that.
the community of people, you have the Black Main Militia of Annisburg, which consists of myself, my employees, my wife and her employees, and any of the security that she has hired, or any of the people that we have that are very close to us that we claim as Black Main Militia. That is the biggest group up that way. And then you have Van Horn with Miss Rosie and Moxley and all their little group of whatever they have going on over there. Occasionally, we do business with Miss Rosie. I do have a lot of respect for Miss Rosie. Myself and Mr. Moxley have some words that need to be spoken between us two anyway, because of some information that I've gathered over the past 2 or 3 days. So that's a thing.
Yeah.
Captain, I don't believe I even really know his name in Van Horn. I just know him as Captain. He's the one with the pirate hat, big dude.
Yeah, I wrote the name down somewhere. I'd have to look back in my book to find
And
it.
legitimately going through my head right here, right now, and strongly trying to remember any names from that damn town. I can't, because I don't know any of them. Not that close, anyway.
But say
Do
the
we
renegades
send
come.
security down there, or do we send people to help them out? Yes.
Yeah.
If the renegades roll through Van Horn, every fucking Black Main Militia will be in Van Horn rolling over top of them to help them out. But if they get themselves into a fucking stink with somebody, like the shit that's going on between them and fucking McKnight, we've kind of backed off on that even too. We haven't really been doing much anything in Van Horn for that. Now, we've also obviously been respected by McKnight and them as well, because they haven't come through Annisburg causing any kind of trouble. And from my memories of meeting McKnight myself, actually, at my old camp, whenever I first had my first blacksmith shop in Annisburg, and his daughter, they were very cordial. Stayed in our camp, we fed them, and they protected the camp just like they lived there, as they kind of did for a short period. I have no qualms with them. They have qualms with people in Van Horn. Cool, have your qualms. Don't bring it to Annisburg. That's the kind of feel we have with that now.
Yeah, that's exactly how we're we kind of went in wanting it to be sort of neutral, and they sort of wait until like most of my family are sat down on the floor, guns aren't out, they're not defending themselves, and they think that they're smart, but they're just being sneaky. And in that kind of scenario,
You don't do people like that.
no, you don't. You I wouldn't do that. And as much as
Take that.
Thank you.
That's mine.
And
And
what we
just check any of the Anniesburg fucking posters all over the place. You'll find Carter or Val's, and usually
Here,
doesn't get
I have
posted
something
up
for
very
both of
often.
you.
So
Okay, thank you. And one, I mean, the thing one thing that I know for sure about our family is that we care more about our businesses, our community, and everything else. Thank you, Val. Rather than revenge, I would say. So, I mean, we're not just going to go out there and shoot them back. You know, that's not how we roll. But if they come into our town, then it's a different story. We can defend ourselves, you know. So it just kind of put us in a little bit of a tricky situation. And I mean, now there's
Yeah,
there's
business
definitely
is the main thing on my mind. And
yeah, exactly.
you guys seem to be very similar to us.
Yeah, it feels like we deal with situations in quite similar ways, which I'm really happy about, because I went yesterday.
I'll say you and I have a lot of like-minded thoughts. I've noticed during the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, shooting should be the last thing that ever happens, and you should never bait somebody in and then shoot them down when they think that they're in a safe place having a safe talk. That should never be.
Especially after the offer goes through and they unlock the fucking doors for them. Like, that was never fucking told to us at all. Because you want to know one of my fucking
That's
possible
sleazy.
solutions?
Mm-hmm.
One of my suggestions for a possible solution that I already had in my head previous to even having this meeting was, why not just give them the keys?
That was
That
our
would
first thought.
let them
Yeah.
have the ability to open the doors, and they could do everything in there like that. Just why not share the property? You guys are on different stars. Like, there's
Exactly.
your solvent right
That's
there.
just
What
what
the
I
fuck?
said.
Like, that was one of my thoughts, and then you started saying that you'd already offered that. I'm like, that's why I said we have like-minded thoughts.
I mean, that
But
is
yeah,
literally...
holy shit, that moon just got fucking
Yeah.
stupidly bright.
Welcome to New Austin.
Welcome to the light
It's
switch
beautiful
moon.
out here, I agree.
Flipped
Yeah,
on the
I love
fucking-
Annsburg,
oh,
but
there
it
goes the
is
bright. It's
beautiful
gone
out
now.
here.
I heard.
Oh, it's
I heard-
raining now. Fuck.
Pretty much everything you said was discussed and agreed, and I didn't put stipulations on the keys. I said that whoever
That's
is
insane.
going to be using them, you need to decide between your families, and as many people can have them as they want.
That's fucking insane, and yeah.
That makes me want to watch my
yeah.
back now.
And I didn't ask for any money for a key. I wasn't asking for money per
I don't need
keys.
to
I
watch
didn't want
my
money
back
from
because
taxes,
you know what's funny is Moxie, and I'll even fucking say it out loud now that I'm already leaning and I got a out of Carter next to me too when I mentioned something. Fucking Moxley's happy, but since he's been there with Rosie in the Pretty Lady Saloon, I don't know, the 24th, I believe, of last month was the last time I was able to sell shoes to Medusa Stables.
He approached me
For
the
some
other
reason,
night
Medusa Stables
about
doesn't need shoes.
getting supplies from him when I get supplies from Mr. Main in Annisburg.
Then I heard that today.
Oh,
I didn't
wow.
hear until today, by the way.
I told him
So
no.
I hear that today, as well as knowing that Medusa's not been needing any shoes from us at all at the blacksmith shop in Anniesburg. I'm like,
Not to mention it took 2.5 weeks and Kaiji had to go pick it up for me to get my horse back, and my horse is 12 years old on delivery.
I mean,
and I paid for it to be bred, and it should have been between 6 and 7 years old whenever she got it, and it's like 12.
Holy
What
crap.
the?
And that's from Medusa. But yeah,
Wow.
so thought process.
If you're
I'm
supposed
sitting
to
there
be,
thinking, I went down to St. Denis before we actually went on the trip to come this direction. I saw Miss Dawn Anderson down there. And I asked her, I was like, hey, you need any shoes? I got 20 on my horse if you want to buy any from me. Because already having it in my head that Moxley's selling all of his shoes in Van Horn, so St. Denis probably behind. I just tested the water, you know, and She immediately, yeah, we actually, I was meaning to try to get a hold of Namas, but I hadn't been able to get a hold of him. He hadn't been down here in forever. I'm like, oh, great. Well, I got 20 on my horse. Here you go, $2,500.
Damn.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm like, all right, so if Namas wants to take over Van Horn, I'll go retake over Saint Denis again, and I'll keep my business going, and he can have his shit in fucking Van Horn.
And I don't
Enjoy.
I don't think
He
Jay's,
can't work there either.
awake. But if you have shoes on you, you might want to talk to Illy. She was looking for some last night. That's the head stable
I
owner.
don't think I have any left. I think I sold my 20 to.
And she was
Don.
really
Let me
she was
check.
really bad last night. She needed some, and I don't know when she's gonna wake up. That's our blacksmith out here.
Jay doesn't wake up for about another 3 to 4 hours from now.
Yeah, but if she needs some, I mean, I don't think he'd be
Exactly. No, he wouldn't at all. I will say one thing real quick, because I've been speaking through pigeons in the newspaper to the government about the house, because I've been trying to find not a solution, but trying to see what options I've got regarding the house. If I was to sell directly back to the government right now, try and look for a refund as such, in that scenario I would get 50% of the starting price.
That's fucked.
Yep.
The good news is that, well, it's kind of good news depending on what happens, is that I've just got confirmation that you were right about the 75% rather than 80. However, that is the minimum. There isn't a maximum.
Okay.
So that's good. It's the same with businesses, because when I bought the Armadillo business, I was not able to buy it for any cheaper than, I think it was 80% with the business. I think it was. It might have been 75, but I had to buy it for 80% of the base price.
Gotcha.
So it looks like that's the minimum. So my kind of thought process, and my initial thought process, is not necessarily going to be the best one. So I'd like to know what you guys think of this. Was to ride up to Van Horn when it's a little bit quiet, maybe with a little bit of protection with myself, or just try and go in really quietly, put a little notice board up.
No,
just
you
to
got our
say-
guns.
I appreciate that.
Ride with us. I'll take you on the fucking cart if you want to go to Van Horn.
Well, I need to speak to my family about how we want to handle it, but my kind of initial thought process is to say that they've got a week to come up and purchase the property off me for either the price that they went up to, which is $1,000 less than me, or for a certain price, maybe I, just to clear the water, just drop the price down a little bit. And from there, I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to or not, but
I mean, if it were me, and I don't know if Val or Carter want to chime in and stop me if my head's not in the same place as theirs, but my thought is, fuck it. You bought the fucking property. You had the money. You paid for it. You outbid them.
Yeah.
You own that motherfucker.
Yeah, you're right, and we
property. Sure.
Yeah, we wanted to be there, but now we don't want to be there. But that doesn't stop us from holding on to it if they don't want to meet us with a fair deal.
Even if I wouldn't even give a deal. Not at this point. After the saloon fucking massacre, as mind you, I even heard about the saloon quote unquote massacre. That's what's being like spread, is they massacred y'all. Like, y'all didn't fight back. Y'all got fucking destroyed, is what I heard. And I'm like, Jesus, what did they do? Val, you're buzzy from your understanding talking over there.
Just to be out there, from my understanding as a business owner, if you're committing crime in your business, you can lose your business. That's what I've always believed and been told, and always been. I'm not one to commit crime, but
attempted
I've always
murder inside of a fucking saloon sounds like the
of
possibility
multiple
of crime.
people.
So, I mean,
that's
fuck
a
it.
problem.
We occasionally have off-duty law that roll around with us. I mean, we could just tell them to go the fuck on duty and go stand in Van Horn for a little bit when y'all go in there. Anybody fucks with you, they get arrested right there. I mean, hell.
You don't do crime in your business. That's known.
I mean, realizing who the y'all two actually were, and
this is why we wanted to talk to y'all.
Been the fuck around. We're just sitting there. I'm sitting here scratching my fucking asshole right now, sitting there going, how the fuck do we stop this war? One, and then two, how the fuck do we make those fuckers in Van Horn back the hell off of this shit, because they lost? I mean, it sucks.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I was
That's where
even
I'm at right now.
I can't have very many dark feelings. There's not much I can do as far as revenge goes. You know, that only justice can sort of be heard when it comes to things like that. But I mean, I was even contemplating the idea of putting a bunch of nice lanterns up outside my property, connected on the top of my property, just spelling out the name Steel or something like that, just so they
If
can
you
have a nice
could
little
do
look at that. You know?
I would help you fund that. That would
Have
be
you
just
noticed in my store that there's different light sources all around the
It's
place?
just like $100 a fucking pop to
Yeah,
get
there's
these
a
things
reason
up.
for
You need
that.
a bunch of them, so yeah, it'd be like fucking
I would.
probably close to what?
That's what I was thinking.
3-4 grand.
I was thinking steel and capitals is probably going to be quite easy to spell out with those lanterns, and it would light up quite nicely in the middle of Van Horn at night time.
yeah,
You
it
know?
would.
Oh, I'd rather have you guys on my back door. I'm just saying I don't like that. Yeah, what's
I'm
to say they
annoyed.
don't come up to Ansburg and try some shit with us?
I'm annoyed.
Exactly. And
Be
that's the last
saying
thing
that
we
they're
want.
your friends in front of you and then stabbing you in the back behind you. That makes me think that could be something going on, because Nama's feeling competition for you, even approaching me about buying things from you.
Well,
from
some
him.
rando at one point. I'm digging in my head. Some rando at one point, not long after Miss Rosie got her fucking saloon there. We were just meeting them, kind of, and some rando came up to me and said, "Be careful of them," and was pointing toward Miss Rosie and Moxley and whatnot, and then he kind of just ran off. I didn't think nothing of it at the time, but for some reason that's coming back to me.
How often do they actually come up to Ansburg?
Never.
Exactly.
Like, only when they need a gun or
When they need something.
want something from one of us. Yeah.
And so there's I'm gonna preface this too. We go up to Annisburg a lot. We try to catch the train there when it does come through. We always lose it because before we bought these properties, Flint had there's a tower house that's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That was
where
the
our camp
original-
is. Well, that's one of the
originally where
three.
dream-
Yeah.
That was
The
originally
far
dream.
center north area of the tower,
Yes.
the square tower
Yeah.
that has the side entrance thing you can kind of jump through.
With
Yeah, the
best
lighthouse.
Yeah, got you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Me and
Yeah.
Carter used to climb up that bitch all the time. He could spot fucking stills from pretty much all the way to roads from up there, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Carter?
I mean,
I know
Said that
we can
further
see
than that.
Sisika. Yeah, we can very easily see Sisika from up
I'll
there.
say a little bit further than that, and then yeah.
But we would go up there all the time and then kind of ride down to Annisburg and kind of hope to see some people and try to see things. And I want you guys to know, obviously, being a gunsmith and everything like that, and us being gunsmiths, we weren't going up there with the intention to try to ever steal business, and I don't want that to ever.
Oh, I'm not even concerned
be a
about
thing.
that.
Yeah, I'm not concerned
even
about
concerned
it at all
about that at
anymore
all.
now.
I wasn't concerned about the stealing business. I was more concerned with
I'll say
Amherst
that's-
being terrified.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The
I'm-
thoughts coming around the other direction now on
Yeah.
things, and I'm sitting here. I'm digging my head, and I'll be right back in a second. I need to roll a cigarette in my head.
Yeah, I
But
get
no,
that.
when things add up, things are adding up, basically. Because yeah.
It equals fish.
That's the thing.
2 plus 2 equals 4.
My camp is actually like connected to that property right now. I know that my camp will disappear if that property gets auctioned and sold at some point. But I mean, I told you that there were 3 houses on our list. 2 of them were the Van Horn ones, and 1 is that tower as well. So as you notice, they're all around the sort of east side, like around your kind of parts. And I don't know. Let's just say there's only 1 house on the list now. If we manage to get rid of these properties, I mean, whatever kind of happens of them, I don't really mind. I'm not here to make money, you know.
Can I say something that kind of
Yeah.
just make sure you read the newspaper. Mexico is going to be a thing, and they gave us a date for the big storm.
Oh, very nice.
What?
Yeah.
What's the date?
Friday, October 21st at 4 p.m. Big storm and all
Oh,
this
it's
stuff.
new
coming.
as well. Okay.
I'm
So-
I love
happy
traveling.
It's not within the fucking period that we're not gonna be around.
Yeah, we have to take
Oh,
a
that makes me
train,
happy,
and we have a wedding to attend over the 15th.
Yeah,
So.
Dodo's wedding.
Oh my gosh, look at this. New bank in Tumbleweed, new post office.
Ew.
A strawberry gunsmith.
Yep,
Oh, nice.
I'm already aware of that.
Yeah,
I
so
just wish we
Flintwood
could
was
have a
getting
full
it.
town in
Flintwood, yeah.
Ansburg
getting it.
and
I know
we
who's
wouldn't
getting
be
it.
in
So,
bind.
Yeah, it's Flintwood, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Charles Flintwood. When I was
Yeah.
working in roads, he told me he wouldn't be around until as soon
Yeah.
as that's done.
I saw
not-
him
Oh, yeah, we were
yesterday.
spending
He's
some time with
already
him
made
yesterday.
his
He's a good man.
preparation order with me for his opening of his gun store. He's gonna use me for all of his iron. So I've got to. He said to prepare for a $26,000 order. That's what he told me to prepare for. So I'm like,
nice.
ew, Jesus, I'm gonna need fucking Iron Mike. I'm gonna need Iron Legion. I'm gonna need everybody. I'm gonna need like fucking 20, 30,000 fucking iron for this shit.
I'm just glad I'm all
God damn
stocked
it.
up, so you don't even have to worry about me right now.
Yeah.
If you
Oh, man.
need me to pull some mine out of there for you, I can. Or some iron out of there, I can definitely go up there.
Don't worry about it. I'd let the guys from Iron Legion do it. They can literally outmine you double what you could mine.
Yeah, plus it gives them the business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we're
it
very
gi- yeah,
good,
it gives
friends
them the
of,
extra
So it'll help
business,
them too.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're really good friends of Mike as well, who
Mhm.
runs the other business. So
Whoa.
Oh, definitely. Mike is good too.
I've got 2.5 hours until I should actually see Mike in Annisburg with 5,000 iron, 1,000 saltpeter, and like 3,500 coal. If I'm not
okay.
mistaken, I made an order with him yesterday.
nice. Yeah, we he's my stars, so I see him a lot. He's one of my closest friends in the county.
I turned off my stars for today.
Yeah, because normally our stars run from 5 p.m. Eastern to 5 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
more or
this is
less.
why I
we
like-
just turned our stars off because we've been awake since yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
have
God.
I have a new master gunsmith in my shop actually that's it's awake more during the daylight hours for Eastern stars, and he's been opening us up. But yeah, he managed to master in under 24 hours.
Yeah, for real.
So I'm really happy to have him on board. So
Damn right,
we
yeah.
should be
I think
open
we
a
need
lot
to,
more.
Yeah, I think we need to employ someone new because Lance has just turned one of our own longest serving gunsmiths on us, and he's just picked up and quit after being there for months and just head straight to Tumbleweed. So yeah, it's a lot of prod in the fire, and I'm trying to sort of keep my distance from Lance right now, mainly because I'm not expecting any. Well, I don't know what to expect, you know.
Yeah, that's totally understandable, and it's interesting. Us as gunsmiths really haven't had that much drama, and here's our turn, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, one quick second. I need to borrow you first. Come here, like over here.
Sid, yeah.
You're perfectly safe with us. I'm appalled by what's going on with this whole situation.
Yeah, my initial thoughts and concerns were from the words of the people from Van Horn saying that you're all as one, and then I sort of apologies to keep you waiting so long. I woke up just to speak to Sid for 5 minutes before I headed out, and then saw a bunch of people in Armadillo, and then realised that I kind of had to be away for a couple of hours. So I'm really glad that you guys waited around, and I really appreciate that. And Naomi also put in a very, very kind words of you. I mean, I've already heard a lot of good words about y'all, and Naomi just backed that up a little bit. It's the only thing that concerned me was last night and how it was kind of portrayed as to how it could be.
Yeah, I'm not gonna back up wrong ever.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can understand why I've kind of now got to expect something, and even with the friendliest people, what they're saying to you, sometimes they're then going to shoot you when you're sat on the floor with your guns out, you know?
That makes little things that have happened, makes me really think about them.
Yeah.
Because it makes me think that they've been trying to encroach on at least the blacksmith, if not my gunsmith, and that's not okay ever. And it's not okay to treat people like that and be slimy like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, find the guns pointed at them. Let me just throw that out to you. If shit went down, yeah, no, I don't support that. I would be pointing my gun at them and be like, oh no.
I appreciate that, Val.
Yeah, he's over there. Like I said, I always enjoyed any chance we got to interact, and
yeah, we've
I do
never
wanna
had an
say-
issue. I just couldn't put a name to a face.
Yeah. I do want to say this to Boucher and Miss Naomi specifically, because I know you guys know everyone. I want to say thank you for getting this all set up.
Yeah, I appreciate this as well because we were hoping to find out what the hell was going on, and we learned a lot today. Yeah. You find out what's on your back door, you know?
Yeah, and anytime you guys want to sit down and talk, we would prefer to go this route and kind of
absolutely.
tell you everything straight. You know, we're not gonna lie. We're very honest people.
Yeah, you remind me of us, which is a good thing. Because I don't know that I trust my back door, if you know what I mean.
Of course.
But, damn.
Yeah, so we're, as Flint was saying, we're gonna have a conversation and figure out what we're gonna do with those properties. But I think right now we're just gonna hold on to them.
Yeah,
go
don't
visit
blame you.
them.
Because the way this is being portrayed on their part is wrong. What they're doing is wrong. I don't support wrong.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, I can see that, you know, how they think it's greedy, right? But as soon as with the two properties, we kind of had a plan in place, and if one fell through, we had the other, right? And then as soon as they felt slighted, we made sure to I made sure to offer that property up to them, and they didn't see kindly to that.
I mean, you even opened it up to them, and then they shot y'all. No. That's wrong in my mind. There needs to be some justice in my mind too, but that's what the law's for.
And I'm not greedy per se, right? But I'm not taking a $30,000 loss on a property. I'll take a $10,000 loss. I'll take, you know, you tell me what you think is fair, and I'll work with you, right?
That's a lot of money to lose.
Yeah, but I'm a hustler, right? I work out of my gunsmith. We treat new people right.
I know. I have a gun store too. I understand.
Yeah, so I'm not necessarily worried about that. It's just
it's the principle of it.
Yeah,
it's the principle, and you don't know.
I think we're kind of at a feeling of I don't want to be strong-armed into you know, being forced to force my hand.
No, that's not right at all.
I mean, hearing the other side of the fucking fence is sitting there like, okay, like at this point, yeah, it may not make as much sense, but at the same time, fuck it, to each his own. I mean, I know me personally, there ain't no way in absolute hell you're gonna catch me dead buying a property and fucking out here in damn New Austin, working up there in fucking Annisburg. There ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be doing that shit.
There's no properties out here anymore.
Well, I mean, maybe not, but still, as a thought process, like
now Mexico's here, so that might.
Yeah, Mexico might bring new stuff. I mean, honestly, though, when it comes down to it, like Val's gun store pretty much has all the perks of a house.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it even has the locking doors.
I love
and
that
locking
company.
doors. And we've got a camp on the north side of Annisburg that's got all the natural amenities like a shit fuck ton of food and drink. And I'm pretty sure we're probably getting low on camp supplies, so I'm probably gonna have to throw like 50 more in there. But hey, I count 80 camp supplies is like 0 to me. So as a thought, I can make them as well. I mean, it's a pain in the ass to fucking make, but I can make them. Rocks and sticks. Well, not sticks, but logs. That shit's easy to collect, so why the fuck not?
Yeah, that's true.
People throw rocks away all the time. Yeah, people throw rocks away all the time and be like, hey, I'll take your rocks. Sure. I've got like 500 rocks in my storage. Dead ass. I've got like 500 or 600 of them because I also use them to make mortar and pestles. So I keep a nice little stock of them. I've got like 1,600 kilograms out of 2,000 in my storage right now.
Damn. I mean, you gotta keep stocked up, right?
Shit ton of it is actually in fucking copper and zinc and brass right now, though.
No, that can go on carts if needs be.
But yeah, it's probably all going to go on carts. I've got like 3,000 to 4,000 coppers ore, 3,000 to 4,000 zinc ore, 300 or 400 zinc bars, like 200 to 300 copper bars, and like 350 brass bars. I have a lot of brass-related material. And it's kind of annoying because I overbought the hell out of it thinking that I would actually be using it a little bit more, but I figured casings would actually get used more than they actually are. But the ratio of the 1 brass to 5 casings and 1 casing to fucking, what is it, 4 sets of
Yeah,
boxes
you make
of
4
rounds?
boxes out of 1
Yeah.
casing and then 8 to 16 gunpowder depending on the ammunition. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't go through casings that fast, at least we don't. And we saw
And
a lot
it's
of
like,
ammunition.
shit.
Yeah.
And hearing that
Yeah.
casings were coming out, I stocked the hell up on brass. That way I'd be prepared to be like, all right, ammo's going to go off the shelves like fucking
Not to mention
wildfire.
the
So I'm going to be
specialty
able to supply
ammunitions
it.
have been a little bit of a
And
disappointment
it
for all of us.
That too, I
the
expected
price
that
in the
to be a
catalog
lot
needs
better.
to go up a little bit, I think, for it to work a bit better, you know?
Yeah, it
I'm
needs to be
hoping
they
adjusted.
even
It's
then-
not balanced.
I'm hoping
Even
they fix
then,
the
though,
ammo.
you'd have the same issue that you kind of already have around the county at different hours. If they raise the price of the ammo in the catalog, that would force those folk who are on the hours of where they rarely are able to find a gunsmith to be screwed into being forced to pay the higher price rather than paying 10, which is already higher than the 8
Well, no,
or
it's
7
it's
or whatever they
4
charge
for a
at the
box
gun
of
store.
regular ammunition of any type.
Yeah, and it's like, what? It's
5.
either 5 or 10 bucks.
It's
at the
10
store
for the
right now.
specialty. No, it's $5
$5
at the store, so we make a
Yeah,
So
dollar.
you
$1.
save $1. So you save $1 going through an actual gunsmith. So if you're buying like a handful of ammo, like you're gonna save 20 or 30 bucks.
I
That
mean, the
adds up.
people-
I mean,
You speak for the people who are around when there's not gunsmiths around, which is, I mean, it's not going to be a huge amount of people, but I mean, if I was one of those people, I would just buy my ammo in bulk from a gunsmith, you know, when I do see them, rather than just buy 5 or so. I'd just buy a shitload for the cheaper price.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Yeah.
trying to get people that are open or around hours that I'm not necessarily around most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. But damn, I think I'm gonna have to be using some of that special ammo a little bit more, just to keep a little bit on me, just in case
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
sort of roll in.
I still have a box of forbidden ammo.
Oh, really?
I have a box of incendiary.
Oh
I've
no.
got 1 box of incendiary left. I used a box of incendiary the other day. We fought the
That big
legendary alligator.
Oh, how many shots did that take? 'Cause
Oh
it took
god, I
100 when
emptied
did
my
it.
whole pump into it.
Fucking
And we
gator
had, like,
ate
6 people.
19 of my incendiary rounds.
Damn.
It ate them in the face.
Yeah,
The
I did
19th
that as
one to
well.
the face finally dropped it, and this was after like 5 or 6 other people were shooting it for 8 minutes. We chased this bitch from
That thing can
fucking
run.
Limpany all the way up the hill, back down the hill to the water where we had to re-herd it away from the water, and then it was a good, I don't know, 1,500 to 2,000 yards to the northeast of Limpany when we finally killed it up in the woods.
Damn, I actually
This
killed that
bitch
one
ran
myself as well.
forever. It never attacked any of us either, so that was a bonus.
Yeah, I thought I was a goner at one point. He was coming right at me. I'm like, oh, here we go.
I just kept running into his face and shooting in the face with a goddamn.
I was shooting my pump
incendiary
as fast
rounds.
as I could in its face.
It took, it spent about 10 minutes for me trying to get inside the saloon. so that was quite amusing to watch. I think it was Thursday or something.
Yeah, that guy
Jesus.
means business.
Can I just say
That's
something?
insane. I mean, you don't have to ask to talk. Just talk.
No, you can't. Sir.
Oh, I just got new mail. First, I'll have to check that out here in a minute. But I was reading a little bit in the newspaper. Females are able to go swimming. They're not going to be invisible anymore.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. Head body fix. I'm reading through a little bit of it myself right now.
Oh, my gunshot wounds might heal up by now.
Undergarments for women without clothing, as well as brand new makeup pack.
Yeah.
Makeup textures and interesting
Oh my goodness.
eye catching.
And yeah, you can change your makeup from the clothing rather than the
Yep.
create. Create. And when you do create,
Oh,
you
nice.
don't start from scratch when you
Yep,
create as well.
it starts create from where you're at. So if I were to wait until one point and do create, I can start from me and change things and then come back. Like if I
Yeah.
wanted to be a little taller, I could just go in, be a little taller, and come back and not have to rebuild my own face again. See that I
see,
I
it's
was
stuff
curious
like
to why
that.
that didn't happen originally, but hey, I'm okay
It's
with
progress.
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And
It's
also
good to
we
see.
get. It
Yes.
seems like 1.0 is also bringing back the MC based craft,
Yep, and
the 9 box crafting.
Yep, and
I'm used to that.
Oh, wow.
you know, I heard from a little birdie.
Fucking
Yeah.
They're gonna give gun parts special colors so they don't all look the same.
Oh, thank goodness.
Amazing.
Thank
Yeah.
goodness. I wish they do that with the
That's a
ammunition
bonus.
too, but I'll
Yeah.
take
Color
it.
code. I mean,
I
hell,
think it
they
might be
already
with
color
ammunition as
coded
well.
the blacksmiths inadvertently. They think we're dumb. They color coded the blacksmith shit already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a struggle. It really is.
It
That's
really
hilarious.
is. It kind of fries my brain a little bit when I'm trying to remember what I'm trying to grab from there, you know?
Because then I
Yeah,
can.
I'm
Oh,
glad I
same.
don't have to deal with that. Oh, and it also looks like the new growing thing will be in, which bringing in the new plants of the marijuana plants.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my
very
god.
fucking-
I can't believe they brought that in. I know where that
I mean,
comes
that's
from.
not
I
going to
can't
do
believe they
anything for me,
actually
but that's kind of neat.
transferred it to this kind of world. I'm surprised they're actually able to do that now. I'm happy.
I'm happy as well.
Well,
and
that
means
would've
they
been
might be able
useful.
to
I'm very
bring
happy
other
for
things from there, you
Mexico.
know?
That would have
I'm
been
very happy
useful
to
when
see
I was
Mexico.
training deputies to recognize what they were looking for.
Because I wanted to go to Mexico actually yesterday, because I know how to get down there still.
Yeah.
Like, even now, I know how to get there. It's just, I don't want to really go. There's
You got
only
a lot
like
of
one
good things
thing
coming.
to see
You
down
just need
there
to
right
get
now.
things fixed.
You know about the thing that's actually in Mexico right now, right?
All I know is that you can go by the waterfall and there's just that little patch of sand. I didn't know there was anything else other than that.
Oh no, you travel way down, like south of Thieves Landing, on that ledge out there. There's like a whole big ass building out there.
What, from
It's, like,
the point that I said, or do you sort of
unfinished?
start up by Thieves Landing?
You have to go from there where you said and travel all the way around out there in the like non-texture land.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Like you actually have to like ride your ass for like 4 minutes out, and there's a big ass building that's like partially unfinished out there.
I'm excited for the buoys to be put in, so we know where not to go.
Wait,
In
that,
the water.
What?
Yeah, they're putting
There's-
buoys in. I
in the
heard about
water, so you
that.
don't
Oh
sink your
my
boats.
God.
We're
I feel
drowning.
bad for whoever
almost drowning.
had to map out all of the buoys. That's what I feel bad for. Whoever had to map out all those buoys. Wonder how many boats they had to go through for that.
I'll be a lot of fucking boats.
Yeah, probably. Several new jobs.
Yeah, lumberjacks and oil workers too. And then Mexico's getting gunsmiths and everything that you know.
Those are gonna be like Mexican law.
I
I don't know what Mexican law is called.
I don't know either.
I'd assume federal is.
Oh.
Oh, there
Okay.
you go.
Yeah, that's
Leave it to the lawman to know the answer.
I don't mean to cut this short with you guys. I do spiritually
Yep.
have to get ready. I'm gonna go check my mail really quick. I'm
I
gonna
say you're
take...
like 30 minutes late, aren't you?
Yep. I'm just going by with what spiritually my wife says. You know.
Well,
No,
run.
yeah.
I'm gonna drink to this though.
Run.
I feel like it was a very productive conversation.
Oh,
So I want to
absolutely.
say
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
And let me just slide my PA to you as well, just in case you ever need
Oh yeah.
to get in contact as well.
Okay, thank you.
Or if you ever need help or anything at all.
Yeah, same here. If you need anything, let us know.
I appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna head back and
Yeah, we
I
really
thank
do.
you.
No problem. I'm so glad we got
Yep.
a chance to talk. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
helping to arrange this, Naomi. I appreciate it.
Thank
Oh,
you
hell
guys
yeah.
again.
Well done on that one.
I'm glad this went
Yeah,
well.
be safe.
Yeah,
We'll be
damn
watching
right.
our backs. Watch your backs.
Yeah, it went a little bit better than yesterday, so that is very good. Damn.
Oh, well, we try not to be slimy or sleazy at all.
Yeah. I would say that's like the full proof right there, though. But like we were just there to rubberneck.
Yeah,
like we
somebody's
just wanted to
threatening
watch.
us as practical mercenaries. No, that ain't gonna happen. Ever.
Yeah, no. We
No,
wouldn't
exactly.
know.
We're far from. We're defense, and that's it.
So you, back on that actually, Van Horn straight was claiming that they kind of are one with us.
Yeah, that you're all kind of one. They
Like
didn't go into
who
crazy detail.
said it? Was it when Miss Rosie and them were right there in front of the gun or in front of the store last night?
Yeah, they all kind of took us in the saloon, and we spent most of the time in there talking with the pirate. The cast did most of the talking. Rosie was there. There are a few other people that.
It's a long time. It's weird.
Yeah, there was a few people inside there at the time, and but it was sort of Cass doing the majority of the talking.
Yeah,
with
not
other people
surprised.
dipping a little bit.
Because Cass and Lance are close.
Yeah, that's what I've now found out, which is now obviously what makes sense as to why
Yeah,
things have kind of gone the way they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what rang a bell for me. When I was law, I was actually head of
Right.
investigations, and I'm just like putting pieces together, and I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a
we've
minute,
got
this
work
is
to do.
lining up too fast. I'm like, wait a minute, no. If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, usually it's a duck.
It's probably
Yeah.
a fish.